All right, we got the COVID cover-up just like that, folks. And I told y'all these things were going to be coming because the Great Tribulation is opening up, and the church and the world and the religions are about to know that they are left behind. And they're about to know that they were parts of this world stage and they were extras. And they're about to know their role, okay? But as Hunter forgot his lines, y'all are probably going to forget your lines too. And that's that lion that's coming from the tribe of Judah. That's Judah, okay? If you seek salvation, you're a Jew. If you seek it in the church, if you seek it in the hospital, however you want to seek it, you're part of those candlesticks. And as the candlesticks are going dark, that means your light is going dark, okay? This light, this candlestick, is what controls the world and controls you. So as this goes dark, right, that darkness within starts to rise, okay? So as the world goes dark, as the candlesticks go dark, as the heads of the dragon go dark, then the people, they go dark. And the Antichrist spirit has already been in this world. And that Antichrist spirit teaches, like Jesus says in Matthew 24, that it teaches that Jesus is the Christ. And this end times comes against those with a testimony of Jesus Christ. And then it tells you that it comes against those of the beast, the mark of the beast. So the sheep, the prey, the wolves, the scribes, the Pharisees, the pastors, the religious people, the congregation, okay? Those are all the children of hell. Those are all the ones that get their light from the top of the candlestick that Jesus warned you about. And the church outside of the candlestick in Revelation 4, when that trumpets is sounding to me, the reader, that's that person who has come out of those churches that's mentioned in Revelation 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So, the RNA, the rib covered up and taken with flesh, this is part of the messenger for the light in the body. So this temple out there has become dark, and it's making this dark inside. Okay, do y'all understand? So when this world stage goes dark, this is when that zombie, that dead man, rises first, that zombie apocalypse. Okay? These things are being set up right now as a flip and a reverse, to where they just have to turn it off and turn it on, and there's the new system, and there it is, and everybody's just there where you're at, and you're there for however long, okay? But you got that 3.5 years to 7 years of tribulation, or great tribulation, breaking open. Okay, the tribulation is over. That spiritual time frame is over. The carnal time frame, when that Jew man is going to be living through that script. Okay, now y'all need to remember something. The things we're told about in the past, if you've done your history, you know the cowboys, real cowboys back in the day, they didn't wear cowboy hats. Okay, that was started by the Hollywood. And the government came in and told them how to do their World War I and World War II movies and this propaganda and these things like this, okay? So the things were shown in the movies, the Wild West in Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth and such, that's where the West begins, and they are carrying guns on their side, all right? They never carried guns on their side like they show. That's for the coming future. And the saloons with candlelight and no power and shit like that, that's showing you what's coming in the future. Okay? So that tell a vision is for that vision, that projection of this world that we live in. okay? And this world that we live in is operated by this so-called candlestick, and we're getting a new heaven and earth with a new candlestick, new lights, and this is where the window into heaven has been given to you on your phone and computer and all that other stuff. The computer is part of that second coming, and where Jesus, who's in us, can do all things. So as the beast man rises, they are seared with a 666 with these lights out there. The real ID is the mark of the beast. They're coming out with RFID chips. That's the mark of the beast. Everything they tell you it's the mark of the beast, it's not the mark of the beast. Y'all already have the mark of the beast, all right? And then you go and worship his name and number, the 45 and the dawn, and you go to mark it in the right hand. But it's just not the dawn. It's every single president. This nation, this time is built on these times coming up. That's why it seems like this is going to be the first election, even though we're going back to like the last election, if there's even an election, all right? So this is playing up in multiple levels, but that vision that's breaking open, that tell-a-vision, the end times, when all things that are written must be manifested, okay? These things that we're watching must be manifested. So these things are going to be breaking open in our world, and we've been tracking these things on the channel and such as these movies in different ways pop out. I can't post them all, but it gives you enough eyes and ears to know how to go and do it on your own and put together these movies that you're seeing on here or whatever, right? So as the vision's being told to you, as the vision's playing out, okay, we're having an overlay of the television, the vision's breaking open, and an overlay of our world and such, and these can work in such a way where they fulfill the vision together, and this is for the eyes and ears, for the body together, for that spiritual time frame, okay? So the pastors, the church, they're all about to know they're left behind in different ways. And they're about to get that world war. The first world war was against that invisible enemy. And then we're going to get that other invisible enemy. And as we go into lockdowns, we're going to see lockdowns 2.0 in a replay over the next 3.5 years. And as we got to see these celebrities go to lockdown and whatever, we're going to get to see the presidents going to lockdown through prison or whatever, right? So we're about to get the Kamala, and then once Kamala comes in, then that special made speaker, the Michael Johnson for that War in Heaven for Kamala, Debbie Harris and such. They are going to be, I forgot to close the door, but kids are going a little nuts. The Michael is that 119 speaker, and he is made special for Michael J. Fox, and the J. Fox is the Fox 666. That's the Trump coming up through the tunnel on the backside, and the J is for John, the middle deal, and then the Michael is for Michael, the MJ. The MJ is that king of pop, okay? So he's part of that Most High and part of that intoxicating effect, and make those Christians and the Christians, he'll be Trump's puppet as the Hitler, the Christian Hitler or whatever, all right? So as this Christian Hitler comes on, he's going to be pulling in the church, and that's where you get the separation and the nation dividing over the next years as the rain stops and the two witnesses come in and all these things as they're doing, because the two witnesses coming in and Trump's going into the lower parts of the earth, the hell, the jail, and this is where we can get where on earth is Carmen Sandiego, okay? He might go into house arrest or these types of things, because the prisons that we have today are old, and we'll be going in, if we get in trouble or whatever in the future, we'll be going into house arrest, or the AI will watch us and all these other things. So it's going to be a whole new heaven and earth, and we're not, and these prison systems are a corporation, and they're not needed anymore, and 80% of the people or 90% of the people shouldn't even be locked up in there because they're non-violent offenders and shit. So it's just there to make money, and it's really fucked up. And this is kind of like where Trump is coming in, as non-violent offenders. There's 2 tests of the law is what he's doing, and there's 2 tests of whatever. He's basically gathering up the hate of the hateful America and the religious America and all these other things in the segments, and he's taking the love and the new heaven and earth kind of people into another way. And we could see we could see Trump, the CA, the AC go into California and do his house arrest over there, and really mind F the people or whatever, because they're gonna be doing a bunch of flip-flops or whatever for the sands of time. So as they do the flip-flops, this can cause the delusion and all these other things. And this is where you have like Palestine versus Israel. Israel supports gays, but Palestine doesn't. But the gays are for Palestine, and they don't know that all these little inner details. So this is like a real fucking conundrum for them or whatever. So this has helped to break down the temples and all these other stuff. So as they break down the temples, the people might get the light or whatever and run over to the new. But the 80% that took the game changer, okay, that's going to let you know your role when they say extras, fill the stage, okay. That's when they're going to know. But so 80% of the world, 80% of the church, all these things that people put their light in. That snake was, I know, was covered in the angel's wings and all that, and you got confused, but it had many fangs coming out and just H1N1 back in the day set this up for the one who flew over the cuckoo's nest and all that. The cocoa nest for the cocoa vid. And that coup d'etat that's coming. So now we have the perfect scenario for Trump to divide the nation. We have it where Biden can be taken out, whether through cognitive skills, bicycling, walking downstairs, through Hunter Biden connections. We have the Mike Johnson setup for that seamless steel. So there's so many options, but y'all are in that final time when the cards are being pulled. And we got the 24 clock in and then the 24 clock out as far as the weeks, okay? And you got the 52 weeks total. And that would be in that July time frame. But we should see, well, we'd have to do another part 2 on this one because we're losing time. But church is about to be shaken. And that inner darkness, the DNA, the messenger, the RNA, you know, it's just all going together with that candle. And the people are just part of it. This mound and earth, the darkness, that antichrist spirit that's in all men, because we're all Christ, Jesus taught. And this is that deception, is because they're telling you that's Christ and that's antichrist and blah, blah, blah. And it's nothing what Jesus taught. The stuff your pastor teaches is what Paul teaches, is what New Testament teaches. It's not what the 4 Gospels teach, of what the red letters teach. What the red letters teach is everything against the New Testament, Old Testament. It's the same. Old Testament is the same Greek Bible, or the English Bible came from that, but the Greek Bible, he talked against. He said, have you not read? And he quoted scripture from the Old Testament. Dude, he's going against that bell worship, that Bible, that Lord. The Lord is Satan. It's right there in front of you. Anyways, folks, church, the world, they're about to know, the seekers of salvation. The seekers of salvation are about to know they did not solve the nation, and they are left behind in all shapes and forms. And as they realize they are left behind, this is when they go into that religious war. They go and storm down the temples and yada, yada, yada. Okay, and whoever's left, whatever, gets to go into the UN quarantine camps for the unrest. Okay, and that unrest is for the Kim Jong-un and those things as well, and that gun rest. Either way, folks, time's up.